Let's start small and build up to the one that sounds like a fever dream, but changed medicine forever. Number 10. Pavlov's drooling dogs. Picture this. You ring a bell every time you feed your dog. After a while, your dog starts drooling just from hearing the bell. No food needed. That's basically what Ivan Pavlov did in the early 1900s, except he measured the actual saliva with tubes attached to the dog's cheeks. Sounds like a weird party trick, right? But this simple bell and drool routine uncovered something huge: how animals, including humans, learn to connect two unrelated things. Pavlov won the Nobel Prize in 1904, not for the dog drool itself, but for what it revealed about digestion and the nervous system. Turns out training your dog to sit is basically doing science. Number 9. The Bee Dance Decoder. Carl von Frisch spent years staring at bees wiggling around in a hive, and honestly, it looked like nothing, just bugs doing a weird shuffle. But von Frisch figured out these wiggles were actually a language. Bees do a figure-8 dance to tell their hive mates exactly where the good flowers are, how far away, and even which direction relative to the sun. Imagine your coworker doing an interpretive dance instead of just texting you the restaurant address. Von Frisch shared the 1973 Nobel Prize for cracking this insect code, proving that watching bugs dance for a decade can actually pay off. Number 8. The goose that thought a man was its mother. Konrad Lorenz raised baby geese himself, and the goslings did something strange. They followed him everywhere like he was their mom. Turns out young geese lock onto whatever moving thing they see first after hatching, and that becomes mother, feathers or not. Lorenz spent his career walking around fields being followed by a line of geese, which probably looked ridiculous to his neighbors. But this discovery, called imprinting, taught scientists how animals form some of their first and strongest bonds. He also won the 1973 Nobel Prize, proving that looking silly in a field is sometimes just good research. Number 7. The fish that fought a fake red belly. Nicolaas Tinbergen studied 3-spined stickleback fish, tiny creatures that turn bright red on their bellies when it's mating season. He built fake fish models, some with red bellies and some without, and dropped them into the tank to see how real male fish would react. The real males attacked anything with red on it, even a crude wooden shape that barely looked like a fish. Basically, Tinbergen proved that fish are one color away from starting a fight. This work on instinct and behavior earned him a share of that same 1973 Nobel Prize, alongside Lorenz and von Frisch. Number 6. The sea slug with a surprisingly good memory. Eric Kandel picked one of the simplest animals he could find, a sea slug called aplysia, because it has huge, easy-to-see nerve cells. He'd poke the slug and watch how its nerves reacted, over and over, to see how memory actually forms at the cellular level. A slug getting poked repeatedly doesn't sound like Nobel-level science, but Kandel showed that memory changes the physical connections between nerve cells, a discovery that helps explain human memory and learning today. He won the Nobel Prize in 2000 for turning a slow, squishy slug into one of neuroscience's biggest breakthroughs. Number 5. Cutting a cat's brain in half to see what happens. Roger Sperry studied cats and monkeys by separating the two halves of their brains, cutting the connection between them. Then he'd test each side separately, showing one eye a picture while blocking the other, to see if the two halves of the brain could work independently. It sounds like something from a mad scientist movie, but this research revealed that the left and right sides of the brain actually specialize in different jobs, one often handling language, the other handling spatial tasks. Sperry won the Nobel Prize in 1981, proving that split-brain cats hold the answer to how your own brain is organized. Number 4. Giant squid nerves bigger than spaghetti. Alan Hodgkin and Andrew Huxley needed to study how nerve signals travel. So they used the giant squid, because its nerve fibers are unusually thick, almost visible to the naked eye. They stuck tiny electrodes directly into these giant nerve fibers to measure the electrical signals zipping through them. Picking the biggest, weirdest nerve in the ocean just because it's easier to poke turned out to be genius. Their work explained exactly how nerve impulses travel through any animal's body, including yours. They won the Nobel Prize in 1963, all thanks to a squid with unusually large wiring. Number 3. Growing extra nerves on a chicken embryo. Rita Levi-Montalcini worked with chicken embryos during a time when she had to hide her lab from wartime restrictions, sometimes running experiments in her bedroom. She noticed that certain tumor tissue, when placed near a growing chicken embryo, caused strange extra nerve growth to sprout toward it. That observation led her to discover nerve growth factor, a substance that tells nerve cells when to grow and survive. A weird nerve explosion on a chicken embryo turned into one of the most important discoveries in biology. She won the Nobel Prize in 1986, proving that some of the best science happens in a bedroom lab with eggs. Number 2. Mice engineered to have better memories. Susumu Tonegawa's team genetically altered mice so scientists could switch specific memory-related brain cells on and off, almost like flipping a light switch inside the mouse's brain. They'd literally activate a single set of neurons with light and watch the mouse react as if it remembered something that never actually happened to it, implanting a false memory into a rodent. It sounds like science fiction, controlling a mouse's memories with a light switch. But this research is helping scientists understand memory disorders in humans today. Tonegawa won the Nobel Prize in 1987 for earlier antibody work, and his mouse memory experiments remain one of the most mind-bending animal research ever done. Number 1. A dream about frog hearts that changed medicine. Otto Lowy had a wild idea in the middle of the night. Literally, he dreamed up an experiment, woke up, scribbled it down, then couldn't read his own handwriting the next morning. The next night, he had the same dream again, and this time he rushed straight to his lab. He took 2 frog hearts, stimulated the nerve on one to slow it down, then took the fluid surrounding that heart and dripped it onto the second heart. The second heart slowed down too, even without its own nerve being touched. This proved that nerves send chemical messages, not just electrical ones, to control the body. A dream about frog hearts led directly to the discovery of neurotransmitters, and Lowy won the Nobel Prize in 1936 for a discovery that basically came to him in his sleep. So, next time someone tells you that you had a weird dream, just remember it might be worth writing down. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.